Hey, all right, welcome to Tuesday. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Some great stuff to talk about, and then some not so great stuff to talk about, but let's get to the great stuff first.
That's right.
EVO 2015 had its lineup announcement just about an hour ago.
That's right. And craziness all around.
It was. Hey,
welcome
to Tuesday.
I mean, look, logically you could probably deduce a lot of it, right?
A bunch of them, maybe not a bunch, but several of them were guaranteed.
Yeah, you were kind of expecting certain things, but there were definitely some curveballs thrown in there, and I don't know, I just kind of went insane on Twitter because there's some craziness going on in there. So.
Yeah, well, I hope you all got a chance to watch the stream. It was Mike Ross, and Wizard actually showed up in person. I had no idea it would be like that.
Oh, yeah. I think
Wizard was going to, show up there.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice thing. I think that's maybe the first time I've ever gone to twitch.tv/Twitch.
Yeah, when would you? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
What other occasion?
Oh,
well, here's the lineup. It's Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to do this in most obvious to, most unobvious, in my opinion.
Okay, sure, go for it.
In my opinion. Ultra Street Fighter 4, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Guilty Gear Xrd,
Okay.
Mortal Kombat X,
Okay.
Killer Instinct,
Okay.
then Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U,
Okay.
then Super Smash Bros. Melee,
Right.
then Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally blown away by this and had zero I didn't even know it was on the radar. All these are on the radar.
Yeah, right.
Tekken 7 is going to be there in arcade fashion. They're going to have arcade cabs for people to come, because it's not going to be out yet on console.
Yeah.
It'll only have been out in arcades in Japan.
So, how many, it's just like...
I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a scene that needs to be in there. It needed to be in there last year. In general, there has to be a 3D type game, because that scene it should have representation.
Right.
So that's great, but I didn't think that any Tekken was on the radar. Even that said,
I didn't think any 3D game was gonna.
I thought this was going to be the year when it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be
really
a 3D-less year.
Really did.
But
no, Tekken 7 in arcades. I mean, it's not out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even going to be out yet for some time.
Yeah.
Spring 2015.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the games one by one. You want to just start here where we're going already? So
Tekken it is.
Yeah. So the interesting thing was that according to Markman, Harada is going to let it be playable at some fighting game events. So you have to imagine it's got to be at Final Round, right? Because Final Round is the Tekken tournament, right?
Absolutely.
So that would be pretty cool. But I mean, for a lot of the American players, how good are they going to be able to get at this game playing at only these little events like this, Yeah. So is this really just going to be like a Japan-dominated tournament?
It's going to be like probably? Japan and Korea. Well, that mostly happens anyway, but...
I mean, okay, some scenes may import it. Who knows? Maybe a Fubar Duck will import it for Arcade UFO or something
totally possible.
That, right? And then Texas will just dominate everybody.
That's totally possible.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be really expensive, and that's not going to be easy to do. Yeah. But that would be great. That would be great. But I mean, I agree. I don't know how scenes outside of East Asia are going to be competitive to even a lesser extent than they normally are when it comes to Tekken.
Hey man, last time Tekken was at EVO, Bronson got second place.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Come on.
But I really like that that Namco is willing to do that.
Yeah.
That is such a change of pace from how it used to be.
Yeah, actually, now that I didn't even think about it from that aspect. I was just blown away that it was happening at all. But, I mean, this is double time now. So Harada streaming the beta test location, and now Harada letting it be at EVO on arcade cabinets and bringing it to fighting game events so people have a chance to play it so they can enter.
That says a lot about...
Harada's he's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
he's pretty cool.
Clearly he understands that the competitive scene is there and should be helped along. I mean, that's something to encourage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So I'm really happy to hear that. Very surprised, but very happy too.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, as soon as that got announced, I ran to Twitter and looked at like what Rip and Eris and all, like they're all super excited. No one saw this coming at all. So, but I mean, you heard from the announcement, you know, that Mark said that him and Joey had been working on this like practically since August last year or something like that.
Like the month after last Evo.
Yeah, exactly.
Right immediately after.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But I mean, a lot of this credit probably has to go to Mark because he was probably sitting there right after Evo ended. He probably said, "There's no way Tag 2's making it back next year. I got to do something."
Well, you know? I mean, good on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good on all the parties involved. It's just it's really nice. It's really nice. Well, you want to now start up at the top of this list and just kind of go back down. All right, so we're just going to go from top to bottom as Shoryuken has listed them.
Yeah, so let's go for the obvious one.
Ultra Street Fighter 4, of course, is going to be there. It's, you know, it's the biggest game. It's going to have the most entrants, most likely. I mean, this was the lock, obviously.
Yeah. Do you think... So, 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, obviously my memory sucks a lot of the times, but I believe Evo had like 1,200 entrants for Street Fighter.
I think it was 15.
Was it 15?
It was already 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, last year's at 16, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it can break 2,000 this year?
Break 2,000, I think, is a tall order. I don't know if it can break 2,000. Yeah. I do think it will have more entrants for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it'll get to the 2s. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, this is the most, like, this is the non-vortexy kind of most balanced, fair version of Street Fighter I've seen in a while. So I feel like a lot of... So what happens is games that are generally a little more... I hate the term, but I'm going to use it, set play-ish.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They tend to have the entrants go down because the people who aren't good just don't feel like they have a chance.
Right.
But I feel like in Street Fighter 4, it really feels like you might not win the tournament, obviously, but you have a chance to have an impact, make it out of your pools, get into semis and stuff. So I actually feel like it's going to go up. Yeah, like you said, probably not 2K. Yeah. It'd be awesome if it was, but... I'm sure the Evo staff would basically cry because that would be such a logistical nightmare. Yeah. But I mean, the interesting thing is, like, so we talked about, you know, Apex having a 124 cap for Smash Melee, right? For just this year. 1,024. Yeah, 1,024, and Evo's never had a cap really in these kind of situations. However many people sign up for Street Fighter will sign up for it, so. It's kind of a scary thought, so...
I think it's the best Street Fighter 4, myself, of the various SF4 iterations. I think this one's the best.
It's really funny, because I just was having this conversation with a couple of different people, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I was talking to someone who was basically saying that they hated Street Fighter 4 because it's scrubby, it's whatever, stuff like that. And I was like, look, if the games came out in opposite order, everything in Super Turbo would be scrubby.
There's so much stupid scrubby stuff in that game.
And just on Facebook earlier today, I saw someone actually talking about how scrubby Super Turbo was.
Is that so?
Yeah, they were just like, that game is so scrubby. Like, why are reversals so hard to do? Why is everything safe on block? There's barely any hit confirms and all these things like that. And, you know, I loved it. Like, I love ST.
Yeah.
But it illustrated exactly my point, is that a lot of the times it's nostalgia that makes you think the older games are better. And I was like, look, I will defend ST to death, but I love what you're saying because it's exactly how I pictured it. You know what I mean? And I think Ultra Street Fighter 4 is a fantastic game. Look, I'm just going to say it now.
I like it a lot. Like I said, I think it's the best SF4.
Yeah, I think it's a great game, and especially now with the 1.04 patch where, like, Relento's better now and all these things like that.
Balanced.
I think there's a lot of chance for some craziness to happen this year. And it's not even going to be just like, oh, it's a 3-month-old game craziness. It's going to be someone has been playing Relento for a year and a half, and all of a sudden it's just going to come and dominate.
Right.
Well, probably Nemo if he makes it out.
He could totally do that. Absolutely. So. Well, Noah's got a chance in another game, too. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is going to be in there.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
No, of course not. Yeah, I mean, look, last year it had the second most entrance at Evo.
Second most watched. Oh,
it was the
most.
It was the most
yeah,
watched.
It was the most watched.
It was the
event.
most watched.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, it has to be in there. I don't think that's a surprise at all. I feel like those two were definite locks.
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about Ultimate as a dead game or whatever, and it's really not. Expect it to break 1K this year? Maybe not.
You expect it to drop a little bit.
Yeah, because this is exactly what I was talking about. This is one of those games where the people who don't play it as often don't feel comfortable playing it casually as much anymore, because if you go to a tournament like EVO and play, you barely play. If you go and such like that, you know. So it's reaching that kind of MVC2 status where MVC2 started dropping, but as a result, it's going to be such a scary tournament.
Right, the players who are in there are good players.
All good.
Yeah, it's not going to be much fluff.
All good, yeah.
I do agree with that.
So,
yeah.
Actually, the quality of the tournament might be really fun to watch.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
And I really want to watch Justin. Not necessarily re-win it, but to try to go for it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be 100% honest. I want Chris G to win this year.
Oh, dang.
I want Chris G to win this year because then PR Raw got second place, and he doesn't care about the game anyway, right?
That's true.
But other than that, if Chris G wins, the Four Gods would have won Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We would have had Champ, Flocker, Justin, and Chris G.
This is the 5th time it'll be there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like that can't be right, but it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That'd be very cool.
I think that would... Well, no, I'm sorry. It would be the 4th time it would be in there because Chris G hasn't won yet.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll be the 4th year that it's there. But, oh, you're counting Vanilla Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Okay, yeah, no. Anyway. Anyway, so Marvel 3 will be in there. Mm-hmm. Then they announced... This is the order that they announced them in that, I recall. Super Smash Brothers for Wii U.
I'm super happy about this.
I am, too. I mean, that's the game that I've been putting quite a bit of time into it. I know you put quite a bit of time into it. Really enjoy it. I mean, I've been watching it quite a bit, and at high level, it seems like it might get to be, like, at least for now, pretty top heavy. Like at Paragon last weekend, like almost everybody had a Diddy. Like every second player had a Diddy, it seemed. So that was a little bit disappointing, but there's plenty of time for the game to evolve in the meantime, and we'll see how it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that I'm calling Viscamp fraudulent. I mean, look.
You just weren't thinking of vanilla.
Yeah, I wasn't counting vanilla. I mean, PR Rog, like I said, got second place in that year and stuff like that. But plus another thing is, I'm not the one who made the whole 5 Marvel Gods thing, right?
Yeah, I mean Viscamp will tell you he's not a god in that.
Right. And everybody else made that up. I'm just going with what they said, so I'm nothing
no
against...
big deal.
Nothing against Jay. Jay is the best.
Nah, I think Jay's one of both of our favorite players.
Yeah.
Certainly one of mine.
And without question, like, one of the smartest players.
That's why I like him. Because he succeeds even though he has crappy hands. He's still,
you know what?
I like him.
One of my favorite people just to talk about fighting games with.
Oh,
we just need to get him on the show one day and just talk fighting games.
Yeah.
Like, no topic, but just be like, so, what do you think of Ultra? And then, you know, just hours of just
that sounds pretty fun.
J philosophy, dude. It's beautiful stuff.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, so Smash 4 is in there. When they announced Smash 4, I wasn't sure that they were going to announce Melee. Were you? Were you sure?
Dude, I know Wizard had
that.
I had no idea. As soon as I heard Smash 4, I was like, God, does this mean there's no Melee?
Right.
Like,
I think everybody said that.
I was terrified. And you know that's why Wizard saved Melee for the end, right?
Because
he just wanted to string people along and everything. But, dude, when I heard that, I was like, oh, God, does this mean no Melee? Like, regardless, if only one Smash game made it, I would have been crestfallen. I would have been heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because not having Melee or not having Smash Wii U, I thought would have been just pretty bad. You know, not having Smash 4 would have killed the game before it even got a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad it made it. But Melee was so hyped last year. It just broke a record at Apex this year.
Right.
You know, I mean, we'll talk more about Melee when we get there.
Sure.
But I'm super happy for Smash 4, and
Me too.
there's a lot of years. Like I remember one year when Soul Calibur, I forgot which version it was. Soul Calibur 3 maybe was in there. That Hilda had the broken glitch where she could basically charge. You're supposed to.
I remember the glitch.
Yeah, if you charge a move, you're supposed to lose that button. But with the mapped buttons up there, they counted as separate, so you could charge the move and still have the normal. So she was too good, and she could ring out everybody. And Wizard and Eris basically made a bet that whether Hilda was going to win or not.
Right, I remember this.
And Eris was just like, Hilda's going to win, guaranteed. There's going to be Hildas everywhere.
It was
in top
4?
8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was Tekken 4. And
Soul Calibur
4, sorry. And Hilda didn't, she got 3rd place.
Right.
The highest.
Right.
And that's what always seems to happen at EVO. I mean, we had Storm winning Marvel last year, right? So I'm curious to really see what's going to happen to all the Diddies. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen.
I mean, what often happens is that's the matchup that everybody learns. So everybody knows that match, and as a result, like it's your bar for being a good Diddy or whatever the top tier character is, kind of has to go up. Even at the same time that you're using this really good character that sort of lets you already jump up a little bit, you still have to be good to get by. Yeah. So yeah, that could happen. Yeah. We'll see. I definitely hope so. That was the Smash game that I expected to be in there for sure.
Right.
Because look, there's no way that Nintendo is letting Melee in there without Smash 4. I mean, don't you think like ultimately it's Nintendo's call. Like they have all the rights in this situation. They could easily have said you're not playing either of our games, or if you're playing only one of our games, it's going to be 4 or it's nothing. They could have done that.
Right.
So that was what I was worried about. I wasn't so much worried that EVO wouldn't put Melee in, because like, why wouldn't you put Melee in if you have the choice?
Right.
If you have to do that. But I was worried that Nintendo would limit them in some way.
Yeah.
They didn't. So.
No, I'm glad Smash Wii U 4 made it. I'm super excited to watch that.
Guilty Gear Xrd also in.
I'm happy.
Of course
I'm happy
you're happy.
about
A
that.
lot of people are happy.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled about that. Great to see Guilty Gear back. I'm a huge fan.
Indeed.
Just every night now, I'm like grinding in training mode.
Oh yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
It's terrible.
Are you still wasting time with Pot?
I'm using Potemkin, and I'm doing a lot of training with Sin now.
Oh, Sin. Okay.
Sin, but it's really interesting because you can't tell how good he is by just training mode.
Okay.
But if you judged it by training mode, this character is ridiculous.
Oh, really?
He's ridiculous, but what everyone's telling me is it's really hard for him to open people up because he doesn't have a lot of overheads and stuff like that. Which is fine because I played Johnny, and Johnny had no overheads except for dust. But like most of the time in Guilty Gear, if you combo off of a throw, like with the Roman cancel or anything, getting about 130 damage or something like that, right? With Sin, if I'm at default food meter, I can get like over 200 damage.
Well, what's a life bar in that game?
Life bar seems to be about like maybe just under 400 or maybe 400.
Oh, you're getting half life off of a throw?
I can half life off of a throw and run
Really?
Roman cancel. Yeah.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, in the corner. I'll throw you, Roman cancel, you lose half your life. And it's pretty... I mean, the way...
It's like better than Potemkin, right?
Yeah, it is. The way Super FX defined Sin was that he basically shits damage, you know? And that's really how it is. Because, like, if I hit you in mid-screen with an overhead and I have a Roman cancel, I can do, like, 220 damage. If I hit you with an overhead.
Is that where all the Johnny players are going?
I don't know, because I know Paul used to play May as well.
Right.
So he's been jumping between May and Sin and even trying other characters, but he's not sure.
Okay.
But I want to stick with Potemkin in a weird way, because every time I go over there, everyone's always like, don't leave Potemkin, James, like, keep playing him. And
he looks just not even interesting, dude.
He's boring and he's hard to play.
I was telling you, I watched Jan from KIT, and he's winning these matches, and it's just like, he's just doing this, you know, Potemkin's little block animation.
Dude, it's...
Get like one hit, and it's not even that much, it's like maybe like crouching kick or whatever into the sweep series, and then like maybe he gets mix up.
Some people are saying that, I don't know if this is a joke, but they're saying
Right, yeah.
He just played Potemkin.
There was no like 6K combo.
Right, and even like middle of the screen pot buster. A couple of times he could have killed the enemy if he had just RC'd the pot buster, because there's follow-ups you can do. Yeah. He just didn't even do them because I don't think he knew him at the time. He was literally playing off of his Guilty Gear intelligence. And literally he just played super smart.
Yeah, he timed people out too.
Yeah. And oh god, that character's so painful to play. But
it really looks like a man. It really does.
I keep finding new things, and I'm like, this is sick. And then I play, and I never get to land anything because I'm
right. Yeah. Like I told you, I found this setup where if you do crouching hard slash and then RC it, if you're and then I forget what the timing is now, but there's a timing where you can get anti-air grab, that's super, whatever it's called, regardless of whether they do the forward or back tech or neutral.
Right.
And I was like, that's so sick. But then I was like, how often am I going to get crouching hard slash?
Never.
Ever?
Never. I've never seen anybody hitting the stuff, so yeah.
Anyway. All right, so Xrd's in there. I know that makes a lot of people happy. I definitely thought that was the most likely of the air dashers to get in.
Yeah, for sure.
It needs to be in there. So it's too big of a game. Then they announced Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was probably the one that I was wondering if it was going to make it back. One of the most confusing ones in there for me. So, I forgot how well it did last year. Did it have a lot of entrants in it?
I want to say it was like in the 4s or something like that.
It was like 400 or 500. Yeah, 400 or 500. Like that, right? Yeah. So, and I'm curious right now how it's also doing at a lot of the other events, that are running right now. But I mean, I'm happy obviously for Iron Galaxy.
Of course.
And season 2's out, all these new characters and everything. I wonder if they're going to stop adding new characters at a certain time just to make sure that it's set for EVO.
Interesting. I wonder. Yeah.
But,
look, that's a scene that is one of the more maybe separate, I don't know if that's the right word, scenes where there aren't that many crossover players. And the crossover players that they have tend to be NRS players, it seems. So I like that game getting in because of that, because I feel like it addresses this community that like otherwise wouldn't have been at EVO.
Right.
So I think that's cool. I do think that'll be, that's probably going to be on the lower end of the number of entrants.
Yeah, most likely. Again, the thing that's hurting it the most is that it's on Xbox One.
That's 80% of its problem.
Yeah.
Seriously, if that was on the other ones...
Just put it on the PC.
It would just immediately, I don't know...
Get so many more
50%
people.
more, 100% more entrants. It's too bad, but...
But the main question that I have is there anybody who's going to challenge CD Junior for an attempted repeat here? Because that guy's just been winning everything, right? So I have no idea how it's going to go, but... Yeah, we'll see.
Well, CD Junior might not be taking that game quite as seriously because Mortal Kombat X is also going to be in there.
It's true.
That was the next game that was announced. This is another one I thought that was pretty obvious.
Yeah. It was most likely.
It's not going to be Injustice because both MKX and Injustice will be out at the time. MKX will have been out since April, so for a few months. And the NRS scene is not great at supporting 2 games.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people in the NRS community would play MK9 even still if they could.
Right,
over Injustice, even though I really like Injustice. So for MKX, that's Injustice is not going to be doing that well.
Right.
Once MKX comes out. So there's not going to be much of a scene for it anymore. But that MKX scene I expect should be big.
Yeah.
Because everybody in NRS is going to be playing it. I've talked with a lot of people who sort of natively play other games, and they're interested in it too.
Right.
It sounds like a very interesting idea.
Well, what I like about it, though, is that, Injustice, obviously, lots of very interesting concepts and stuff like that, right? Lots of cool things like interactables and really cool spacing characters and everything like that. The way that they're designing this game, MKX, with the different modes and stuff like that, it really looks like they're kind of incorporating a lot of that. So Injustice felt like they took a lot from Mortal Kombat MK9, and kind of spruced it up. And it feels like that's kind of what's happening right now with Mortal Kombat X, because they have interactables.
Sure.
So that feature is still going to be there. And with the 3 different modes, it sounds like there's going to be a really awesome character variety in there.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm sad that Injustice is not going to make it in there.
Look, me too.
But I think MKX will hopefully cover a lot of the things that we loved about Injustice in that game. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope the NRS community embraces it. And
I'm sure they. I have
really
no doubts.
goes to town with
really
that
have
game,
no doubts.
So, yeah. Because it has the potential to be super huge.
It does. Yeah, we talk about the NRS community, and that's not that huge a community. Mm-hmm. But the casual fan base for Mortal Kombat is gigantic.
Right.
It's like huge. It's so much bigger than almost all the other games on this list.
It is.
Really. I mean, the only challengers are Street Fighter and Smash. I mean, that's
and in the past Tekken.
And you're right. In the past Tekken. Yeah, I don't know if that's.
Yeah.
But if some even small percentage of the casual buyers could be interested in playing it competitively, the numbers would just be gigantic.
Yeah. If NetherRealms is smart, and I know they are, and I know that they're probably going to do this, but you build in some news outlet inside the game. When it goes to EVO, how many people are going to see that message? Right. Go watch EVO, go check this out. Right. I know, even Guilty Gear Xrd has a news thing as well that they can update. So you could if there's new news, it'll glow and you hit a button and it shows stuff like that.
Oh, that's very cool.
So a lot of games are trying to build that stuff in there. So that's actually really, really neat. And if NRS is smart, then they'll do that for MKX and just be like, hey, EVO's this weekend, you should watch Xbox One or something
awesome.
like that. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That would be very, very cool. Okay, so the next one announced was Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I was surprised.
Yeah,
right?
This one was a shock.
I'm very happy for that scene because I think a lot of them didn't expect it to happen, and it did, and that's really nice. It sounds like there'll be a lot of players coming from Japan, for the game, which is really cool too. That's going to be awesome to see.
A lot of Japanese players out here between Xrd and this, and potentially Tekken 7,
SF4. It's just going to be. You're right. There are going to be a lot.
There's going to be a giant armada of Japanese players coming out, so it'll be awesome.
I hope so. But yeah, I didn't expect it, but that's really nice for them. I'm really happy for the scene.
Yeah. I mean, when they announced that they were going to put 2 air dashers in there, I honestly thought it was going to be Blaze Blue, right? So look, we love Uniel. We'll get into games that didn't make it later.
We'll do that later.
But yeah, so I was pretty sure that I was thinking it was going to be Blaze Blue because of how hyped the last one is. But the grand finals were and everything like that. So, but I'm glad to see Persona get a second chance.
And maybe its finals will be sick this year.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. New patch, right? There's a new patch in the arcade version right now in Japan, I think. And I don't know when they're porting it to consoles or anything like that, but apparently there's a new balance patch because I see people talking about it on Twitter and stuff like that. So,
all right. Then they announced Melee. Like you said, Wizard is control, and he announced Smash 4, and then he waited until what we thought was the last game to announce Melee. Setting records in terms of entrance.
Is some people saying that we're having audio issues? Do people have any audio issues going on, or is it the audio breaking in and out or anything like that? Well, we'll wait. See, they're saying
random cuts and audio lag.
Interesting, dude. I don't know what's going on, dude.
Also, it seems hugely delayed.
Well, this is paused.
No, but they're still not talking about what we're...
Oh, okay. Audio issues, huh?
It's cutting, yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. Why? I didn't change anything. I don't change anything. I literally don't change anything, and it just sits here. And, this problem. All right, they're saying it's good for now. It's still watchable.
It's still cutting in and out, people are saying, so...
man.
Whatever. I'm sorry. We have a local recording.
Yeah.
We'll have to use that one for the video this time. So, for the YouTube.
Yeah, that's actually a really good call. Actually, if you check to see the local recording, if there's no audio cuts in there, then it's not my setup. Right? If the cuts are in the local recording, then there's something wrong with the setup or my computer or something like that.
Right, sure, of course.
So I need to figure it out.
Okay, well, we'll take a look. I hope it's all right. Yeah, Lizard Squad. Anyway, so look, Melee is gigantic. It really needs to be in there. There's just so many people. The level of play is so high. it's a big international game now. It's not just North America anymore. So
lots of great stories. Gives Mango a chance for that three-peat, which would be almost unprecedented. I don't think anyone's three-peated before.
That's what Wiz said, but nobody remembers Justin. Didn't Justin win?
I don't think he won 3 in a row.
I think he won 3 in a row.
Didn't Yipes interrupt that in the middle there?
Yeah.
Or Duck Doe was in 2005.
I feel like he won 3 in a row. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought.
If he won 3 in a row, it would have been B4, B5, 2002.
Oh, really?
But then 2003.
I don't know. I thought it happened, but maybe
you're
I'm
right.
wrong.
Justin might have won like 4 in a row.
Right? That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times.
I thought it was 4 in a row, but I didn't want to come out because I thought I would be wrong. Anyway.
Well, here's my question to you. So Apex, 1,024 entrants.
Yeah.
Melee. Do you think Evo could break that number?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Why
not?
I agree.
Doesn't seem like much of a stretch. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it could potentially be one of the biggest tournaments. Like, if it's not second to Ultra, I would be surprised.
Oh, yeah, I would be surprised too.
Yeah. So I'm super hyped for Melee. It's super good stuff. It's great to see that community just keeps chugging along, right?
Yeah.
So, and
bigger than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. Justin won 02 to 04.
Okay, there you go. So at least that's 3 years.
And
he won. Oh, Duck won B4, and then Justin won B5. I think it was. So in terms of Evos, Justin may have only won 3 in a row.
Oh, but he won B5 before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something like that. So
anyway, whatever. Melee's in there. Congrats to Smash Scene for having 2 games, and they really deserve it because they're gigantic right now. So. Then Tekken 7. I mean, we talked about this, but we were just totally blown away. Mm-hmm. Had no expectation that was going to happen.
So weird.
But it's awesome.
But again, shout outs to Mark, man. Sure. He definitely works very hard for that. Yeah. I know a lot of people give him, flack for certain things or other, but the guy does nothing but try to help the FGC as much as possible. Dude, Mavcat sponsors like every single fighting game event. You don't think that Mark man was one of the main reasons why they're even here in doing this in the first place?
Yeah, or like making joysticks at all, by the way.
Quality joysticks that last. Right, exactly. Yeah. So, so really cool.
He's a very important guy.
Yeah.
So those are the games that made it.
Do you want to take a break and then we can talk about the sad, unfortunate games that didn't make it?
Let's do that. We'll be back in a little bit with Incessant Whining by James and me.